When you think about modern K-pop, like really think about it, what comes to mind? The huge concerts, the idols producing their own music, the incredible fashion? Well, a massive part of that whole world can pretty much be traced back to one guy. So today, we're diving into the G-Dragon effect. I mean, seriously, try to picture a K-pop concert without that glowing ocean of light sticks. You know, that incredible sight where every fandom has its own unique design. It's almost impossible, right? Okay, and what about the music itself? It's pretty much a given now that our favorite idols are deeply involved in creating their own songs, writing lyrics, composing tracks, really shaping their own sound. It's part of who they are as artists. Well, the wild thing is, before G-Dragon, that just wasn't the reality. He didn't just join the K-pop industry, he basically rewrote the rules. He created the blueprint for the K-pop we know and love today. Let's get into how he did it. First things first, we gotta talk about the idea of the idol itself, because G-Dragon completely changed what it even means to be one. He shifted the whole paradigm from just being a performer to being a genuine, self-made artist. Just look at the difference here. Before him, the standard was this manufactured model. The company called all the shots. They picked the songs, the concepts, everything. Creative freedom for the idol? Pretty limited. But G-Dragon came in and pioneered the self-produced model, where an artist's own vision isn't just a bonus, it's absolutely central to who they are. And the turning point, the song that really kicked it all off, was Lies by BIGBANG back in 2007. That was the first time an idol wrote and produced a massive hit for their own group. After that, there was no looking back. He became the main creative force for Big Bang and for his own solo stuff. And his success was so undeniable that other companies basically had to follow suit and let their own artists have more control. And this quote from him, it just says it all. For him, it wasn't just a job. It was this deep, compulsive need to innovate, to push boundaries, to create something that nobody had seen or heard before. You know, he also shattered this huge industry taboo. For the longest time, if an idol went solo, it was seen as the beginning of the end for their group. It was like a giant red flag for fans and for the industry. But G-Dragon set a totally new precedent. He proved that you could be a massively successful solo artist and still be a core member of your group. And the proof is right here. In 2009, his solo album Heartbreaker was a monster hit. And yeah, people worried. But then, in 2011, Big Bang came back bigger and better than ever. It showed everyone that solo success didn't have to hurt the group, it could actually make it stronger. That opened the door for so many idols that came after him. Okay, so his impact wasn't just on the artists, it was also about the fans. He was a major force in shaping the entire culture around being a K-pop fan, the whole experience. Which brings us right back to those light sticks. Back in 2006, G-Dragon wanted a special way for Big Bang's fans to show their support. So he took matters into his own hands and personally designed the Bang Bong. That right there was the very first official artist-designed light stick. He literally invented one of the most iconic parts of K-pop fan culture. And then there's this. Ever heard the term airport fashion? The whole idea that walking through an airport could be like walking a runway, well, that basically started with him. His outfits got so much attention that the airport became a new stage for idols to show off their personal style. It turned a boring travel day into a major cultural event. All right, now let's zoom out and look at his global impact. G-Dragon was absolutely instrumental in redefining not just how K-pop looked, but how far it could reach. This quote really is the key to his whole philosophy. He saw fashion as just another canvas for art, and in his mind, there were no rules. That fearless attitude completely changed the visuals of K-pop. He was the one who normalized idols changing their hair color for every new concept. He wasn't afraid to blur gender lines, rocking pieces from women's wear collections and making it look incredible. He even launched his own high-fashion brand. He basically made it cool to be experimental and daring with your look. And he was a trailblazer when it came to global collaborations. In 2009, having Flo Rida on his track Heartbreaker was the first time a K-pop idol had ever officially collaborated with a Western artist. Think about that. Then a few years later, he's working with the one and only Missy Elliott and putting on a legendary performance with her at KCON. He was building bridges no one else had. And the story behind that Flo Rida feature is just, it's amazing. He was actually getting accused of plagiarizing one of Flo Rida's songs. So what does he do? He doesn't get defensive. He reaches out and invites Florida to be on the song. He turned a potential scandal into a history-making collaboration. Just a genius move. So, when you put all of these pieces together, what do you get? You get a legacy so powerful, so influential, that he's earned a special title, the Idol of Idols. I mean, the list of artists who look up to him is just mind-blowing. We're talking about the biggest names in the business here. BTS's Jungkook has said G-Dragon was the reason he wanted to become a singer. Superstars like IU, J Park, the list just goes on and on. His influence is everywhere. And the innovations just kept coming. In 2015, with Big Bang's Made series, they pioneered this idea of releasing an album in pieces, one mini album at a time. At first, some people were skeptical, but it was so successful that it became a standard release strategy for the whole industry. Another trend he helped set. So, yeah, when you try to sum him up, you can't just use one word. He's the producer who proved an idol could be the master of their own music. He's the trendsetter who made fashion a key part of an idol's identity. And he's the pioneer who broke down barriers and took K-pop to the world. He didn't just play the game, he built the board. He really did lay down the blueprint for so much of what K-pop is today. He was the architect of an entire era, which kind of leaves us with a huge question to chew on. If G-Dragon built this generation of K-pop, who's going to be the next architect? Who's building the future?